To Wednesday, March 25th. We're going to be working today on peer reviewing our tutories. During this video, I'll give you some feedback on how to give feedback as you look at each other's tutories and then how you'll go about doing that. I'm starting here. You can see the screen is on Blackboard on our calendar. That's where I have the feedback expectations listed. So right here, when you go into your peers' tutori, I want you to give them feedback on the following. Now, how you write this feedback, you could do it like on a Word document and then just paste it into the comment section of the blog space. But essentially, you're going to go to at least 2 classmates' tutori links. You will go to their link, give them feedback, and then publish it as a comment in our class blog. So these are some things you want to just check for. Titles for the tutori. Is their research question listed? Do they start with their inspiration source? Do they have at least 6 source boxes? Hopefully they're labeled with the same color just for consistency. Does each source box have an annotation that includes an MLA citation of the source, and then this summary, analysis, and note on how the student might use it as use it in their paper. Guys, this one will be the one that may take you the most time giving feedback, so just prepare for that. You're going to also look at their connections boxes, make sure that they're actually connecting the sources. Make sure they have 2 reflections boxes. If they don't label these source, connection, reflection, you might suggest that they do, just for the ease of navigating it and reading it and understanding it. And then down here, we want to make sure that the project ends with a working claim and that that claim explores a causal relationship. Okay, I'm going to pull up a student sample. You may have already looked at this one. This is a former student sample on the opioid epidemic. If I were giving feedback here, I'd say yes, they have their title, they have their research question, okay? But then when I look over here at their first source, here they have a link, so this kind of comes up, this link to their first source, and they have their MLA citation. That MLA citation's fine. This is just kind of a general information website. What I'm worried about is when I look here at their annotation, it just says this article contains a few components on prescription opioids, and the student never really talks about what Medline Plus is, what it's affiliated with. We assume it's affiliated with the U.S. government, but putting in some attributions here about where this source comes from would make this a lot stronger. So keep that in mind. Here they have a summary, just kind of a brief summary of what's in the source, but notice they don't really use any kind of analytical language, like things like this source mainly draws from statistical data, or this source draws from emotional appeals through interviews, or whatever. So remember, you need to do a little of everything, some summary, some analysis, and then of course how you'll use it in the paper, which the student is attempting to do here. So I might give some feedback on strengthening that. Now I do notice down here that this one they do go into and give a little more ethos into who wrote this source, which this is a TED Talk. So that gets better as they go. So you might also want to tell them specifically which sources they need to work on to improve. Remember last year my students' did you know boxes were really their connections boxes, and what I noticed in this one is that the student didn't really use it as a connections box. They're really just using it more to consider how their thoughts are developing as their research goes, because I'm not seeing things like, the Medline source connects to the, Travis Ryder source in this way. So remember, those connections boxes need to really be pointing to those sources and how the sources either connect or challenge each other or build on each other's arguments, etc. Okay, guys, once you finish or get ready to do this, you're just going to go into our class blog for the day, and again, you're going to make sure as soon as you finish this video, go ahead and leave a comment, post your own tutori link. Then I want you to find 2 other students and comment on theirs. If you're noticing there's a student who doesn't have a lot of comments, please jump in there and let them be one of the students that you comment on. We want to make sure everybody gets, at least one other classmate's feedback, and then everyone will get my feedback. So you'll see my feedback come through sometime on Wednesday or Thursday. Okay, good luck. Let me know if you have any questions or problems, and I will talk to you later.